Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is Sudhir and I hope all of you are doing well. Now, this is a video I should have probably done a few days or weeks ago. This is for the batch of 2023, the new batch. And even if you are not a class 10 student, even if you are a class 9 student, you would find some of these suggestions useful. And even if you are a CBSE or any of the state board student, right? So you could listen and take important tips and inputs from this video. Now, sometime last week, I received a message over Instagram. I'm not very active on Insta, but this particular student's rather long message was what led me to make this video. She wrote that at her school, the unit tests have already begun, right? And there is a lot of pressure already at her school on her entire batch of ICSE class 10. Her school apparently said, and I quote, that the marks that you will score in your first unit test will show how you are going to perform through this entire academic year 2022-2023. And as luck would have it, many students in that particular school did not do very well in the unit test for different reasons. In one word, it meant pressure, pressure, and pressure. And that's precisely what the school was doing, much to my shock. My reply to her was this, and I quote, I told this particular student, please put all this fear that your school is drilling into you and your classmates, your batchmates, into a bag. Figuratively, metaphorically. Put it into a bag and throw it, dump it into the nearest garbage bin. It may sound very harsh, but there's a reason why I'm saying something like this. If you fear, trust me, you can never conquer. वो डर के आगे जीत है वाली लाइन वो सब डायलॉग बाजी में अच्छा लगता है. It may sound good for a Salman Khan, but in reality, if you fear, you can never ever conquer. Fear is inversely proportional to victory, to triumph. You need to enjoy the process instead of feeling burdened by it. That's something very important. Edmund Hillary, Bachendri Pal, Purna, all people who climbed Mount Everest. Do you think they would have climbed Mount Everest if they felt scared of the mountain? Sunil Gavaskar, the greatest ever opening batsman India has ever produced, he faced the terrifying quartet of the West Indian pace attack, Malcolm Marshall, Michael Holding, Andy Roberts, Joel Garner, without wearing a helmet. Do you think he could have done that if he was scared? Our freedom fighters, do you think they could have gained independence if they were scared of the British? So fear is inversely proportional to victory. Please remember this SWS formula. So if you have the virus of fear in your computer, in this supercomputer called the mind, it will not allow you to function. It will not allow you to work well. So step one has to be delete fear. That has to be the first step. Delete fear. Conquer your fears. Step two, what you should not do is to keep following the examination and the unit test and the class test pattern of your school. Be one step ahead. Be one step ahead of what your school is doing. Run your own individual race in your own individual track. Don't be part of the crowd. Don't be part of the herd. I say this to each one of you individually. How do you do that? I made a reference to it even in my earlier video. And I say this to every student who gets in touch with me over SWS app, over Insta, over email, over YouTube comments. Every day 90 minutes of self-study. That's all you need. You do not need to study for 10 hours from now. Please don't do that. You will get burnt out. 90 minutes of self-study in 2 or 3 slots. I'm not saying that 90 minutes has to be continuous also. It could be half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. It could be 45 minutes plus 45 minutes. It could be 1 hour plus half hour, or it could be 90 minutes altogether. Entirely up to you. You be the master of your own life. You decide, but this 90 minutes, and that's my condition. This should not include your homework. This should not include your project work. This should not include your tuition classes. This should be self-study. What you study, when you study, that is your decision. It could be physics, it could be mathematics, it could be Shakespeare, It could be history civics, it could be geography, chemistry, कुछ भी पढ़ो, तुम्हारी मर्जी, लेकिन तुम decide करोगे, and you will be the person who will decide that on Monday I will do this, Tuesday I will do this, at what time I will do this. अरे कोई नहीं है, कोई शाहरुख खान आके तुम्हारे लिए टाइम टेबल नहीं बनाएगा. क्यों बनाएगा भाई? क्यों बनाने की जरूरत क्या है? There is a need for anyone else to make your timetable. You are good enough for that. I have confidence that you are good enough to make your own timetable. Understood? Step number 3, maintain targets. Don't think about what you will do in January 2023. No need. Think of maintain a weekly target, fortnightly target, and monthly target. 7, 15, 30, these are the only 3 digits that should matter to you. Understood? 7-day week, 15-day fortnight, and 30-day month. Work towards those targets and do a weekly postmortem every Sunday to see how the week has been. Whether you have managed to fulfill those targets that you had set for yourself, or have you fallen short. If yes, if you have fallen short, why have you fallen short? If you have met those targets, great, pat yourself on the back. Get yourself a chocolate, okay, or a pastry, or a cake. Why not? Celebrate. Celebrate life, celebrate every moment. You have to be an achiever, and I'll tell you the big reason why you need to be an achiever. 2 points I want to leave you with. After 2 batches of 2021 and 21-22, where the syllabus was vastly reduced, your batch is going to go back to the pre-COVID era of the full syllabus. So pressure ज़्यादा रहेगा आप सभी के ऊपर. Syllabus ज़्यादा होगा. Okay, but if you study well, there will be no pressure. The syllabus will look bigger than what your seniors in the last 2 batches went through. Okay, so if you plan to do masti till December, January, and say January 1 तारीख से शुरू करेंगे, भाई मेरे, you would have lost a lot of ground. Unless you have something very important to do in the next 4 to 5 months. That's up to you. Okay. उसके बाद regret करने से फायदा नहीं है. The difference between a 90% and a 98% is only this: planning and a more systematic approach. That's all. 1.5 hours every day. You will have a cakewalk in the examinations. Trust me. I'm saying this from experience. Many of your seniors will tell you class 10 is not important. उनकी बातें यहाँ से सुनो, यहाँ से निकाल दो. And I'll tell you why it is important. I'm not going to tell you that this is Mount Everest. It's not. I'm not going to say that this is the most important examination in your life. It is not. I will not tell you things which are not true. But at the same time, I will also not say that this examination is not important. This is your first All India examination. All the examinations that you have done so far have been your class or school level examination. So my point is simple, and I'm asking you this very simple question. Why would you give up an opportunity to compete at the national level? Toppers don't come from Mars. Toppers do not come from Mars. They come from inside your classroom. They come from inside your school. They come from your neighborhood. They come from your town. They come from your city. So my question is, why can't it be you? Do you have an answer? Do you have an answer why it can't be? Why that topper can't be you? That has to be your battle. That has to be your individual battle. So are you willing to fight it? Are you willing to fight that battle? How is the Josh? And you need to say, hi sir, right? So think of how proud you will feel of yourself, how proud your parents will feel. Work for that moment of pride and happiness. Imagine even the security guard in your building, in your apartments building will say, अरे वो 302 का जो लड़का है ना, जो 401 की लड़की है, उसने पूरे देश में टॉप किया है, उसने पूरे सिटी में टॉप किया है, उसने पूरे स्टेट में टॉप किया है. Everyone will want to associate themselves with you. Everyone will want to kind of tell the world that they know you. Work towards that. Unless, as I say, you have something more important to do. Lastly, if you plan to take help, and it could be from anyone, private tutors, some bhaiya or didi who may be willing to help you, SWS app, or any other place, any other avenue, do so now. Do not do that, leave that to December, January, by the time it's too late. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. एवरी ट्यूटर एंड स्टूडेंट के बीच में ट्यूनिंग होने में टाइम लगता है. इट टेक्स अ बिट ऑफ टाइम फॉर द ट्यूनिंग टू टेक प्लेस, राइट? So the students who joined us last year in May, June, July obviously gained much more than the students who joined us this year in February, March, right? Because we didn't have much time to kind of get adjusted with each other. It was towards a fag end. So if you join early, you get more time to kind of forge a winning partnership. That's something very important, right? And that's what I would want you to do. Irrespective of where you join, do so early. Don't leave it to the last minute. And keep the momentum going. Okay, I hope I've kind of cleared some of your concepts on what you should do, what you should not do over the next 10 odd months. All the best to you. May you win this race of 2023. Thank you very much.